that is credited in my capital account is to be treated as a consideration, so that they are not losing the even single point of rupee from the tax evaders. 45.4 Distribution on dissolution. As I contributed capital asset to them, and then after a few days they dissolved and they distributed the assets as a contribution of my capital, then I have incurred capital gain. Yes, they mentioned in 45.4. The consideration that to be adopted is FMV on the date of transaction. 45A Compulsory acquisition. Daurjanyam. The government will compulsorily acquire the asset that we acquired by our passion or interest and so on. But if they acquired and they give, generally they will give less amount than the market value of that land or whatever it may be, capital asset, so that we will go for further case proceedings to gain another extra huge amount, but they will not pay. If in that case they pay any amount, that is to be taxable under capital gain itself. Under section 45.5, the total compensation that is received, which we had made claim for, that is to be taxed under 45.5. If they incurred any expenses on that, the expenses would be admissible for that. 50B Slum sale. Slum sale means lump sum sale. If the whole business has been transferred for lump sum consideration without values being assigned to individual assets and liabilities, then the capital gain is to be calculated as follows. The full value of consideration is equal to total assets minus total outside liabilities less transfer expenses, get gross net capital gain or loss. Next, cost of acquisition and cost of improvement. For that, we have to calculate net worth undertakings business for transferred. And for total assets, we have to consider these values. If there are depreciable assets, we have to consider WDV. If not, we have to consider book value. Then, if there are any revaluation in revaluation period, we have to not consider that revalued figures. Section P. Computation of capital gains in case of depreciable asset. For computation of capital gains, there is depreciable asset and there will be non-depreciable asset. For non-depreciable asset, there is no issue at all. For depreciable asset, we need to link up with section 32. If generally in the organizations or firms, they will maintain as a group of assets, that is called as block of assets. If we have to consider whether that block is fully transferred or not. Well, if the fully transferred, then the capital gain will be vary. If they are not transferring the whole block, then the capital gain will be vary. So what they varies is then the cap taxability will be vary. We will go furtherly. Okay. Is there any block? First we have to check that. If not, section 50 will be attracted. If yes, then we have to sue another. Is there any value? That is opening WDV plus additions. If yes, then section 32 will be attracted. If there is no value, then we need to, if the part of the block is transferred and there is no value, then section 50 will be attracted. Section 50, what it says, if the whole block has been transferred and the net consideration we received is greater than the WDV and addition, which says that this is capital gain, but this is the short-term capital gain as the depreciable asset, so that generally short-term capital gain will be occur. If there are less than the WDV and additions, then it will occur short-term capital loss. If the part of the block has been transferred, then net consideration is greater than the WDV plus additions, then short-term capital gain. If not, we have to go for claim depreciation under section 32. What is net consideration? Sale consideration minus transfer expenses. As we know that in section 48 they mentioned that. Conclusion. First of all, for taxability under this head, we have to see in this way. Is it capital asset under section 214? If it is yes, Is it transfer under section 247? Is it yes? If it is yes, then is there any exceptions to the transfer? If it is yes, is it financial asset under section 242A? Financial asset nothing but securities and listed assets. So if the holding period, HP means house, not house property, this is holding period, okay? His holding period is greater than or equal to 12 months, then it will be treated as short-term capital gains or loss, whatever it may be. If not, it will be treated as long-term capital gain or loss. Okay, thank you.